What's up, everyone? It's Bob and Chris from Join or Die Podcast. Today is Sunday, November 24th, 2024. I didn't even realize that until I just said that out loud. 24. What do you got? You got a face on your
No.
You got a face on your head.
No. I got a face on my head. You got a head on your face. Starting a face on your ass, I guess. So it's been a couple weeks. Been a few weeks.
Apparently, Donald Trump won the election.
But we played this smart. We were going to do basically a post-election, and I was like, we were talking about maybe we should give it a minute, especially with his cabinet.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad we did, because we're like, we're going to do a video on what's going on, and then we're going to have to go, okay, now we have to correct this. And it was like, let the water kind of settle a little bit, and I'm glad we did, because now we can kind of do both in one video.
Yeah.
As opposed to correcting ourselves or whatever. So we took a minute because we were talking about how this may be amended as we go through this.
It's been quite a few cabinet nominations. Was it one or two dropouts?
Well,
I know
Gates
which dropped out.
Which we originally were talking about. I loved it. It was a hand grenade. But I think going in there with just basically, like I said, like a hand grenade or a flamethrower and a sledgehammer, which, pardon me, I don't mind. I do like Pam Bondi a lot more. I think it just makes more sense. I think she's a scalpel, and I think that could be more precise than as much as I want the interior of this, government blown up, figuratively. I think Gates would have been too much of a distraction. I do like him, but I think Bondi has the experience, can do it just as well without making the mess that it may be.
Yeah. So, before we get into that, we'll go over each and every one of his. I think he has 15 cabinet picks right now, so we're going to go over each one, see who they are, a little background on them. It won't be too long. But before that, I made a short about it, but now I'm going to say it to everyone else, all the 33 loyal subscribers that we have. I was wrong in the election. I said he was going to lose Pennsylvania.
Your own state.
I didn't.
Your own county.
Didn't trust him. Didn't trust him. I was wrong, and I'm happy as hell to say that I was wrong.
I was wrong on two. I thought he would win New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. I'm very disappointed. I mean, it's a small amount of votes. It's like 4 whatever electoral votes, whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not losing my mind. I just thought I'm very disappointed. I thought New Hampshire would flip. And I said he wouldn't get Wisconsin, and he did. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, we're the opposite on that. And I also said he wasn't going to get Michigan, and you said you were on the fence. You thinking he was going to get it?
No, I said he would get Michigan.
Oh, you said he did.
I said he would get Michigan because it's a bigger union state, and I figured he's winning the unions. The only ones I was wrong on was I really thought he would win New Hampshire, and I wasn't sure about Wisconsin. I said I don't think he was going to win it, but I did not think he was going to sweep. I didn't like Arizona and Nevada. I think
we said that. We said Arizona and Nevada. He was
to win all of them was just like insane.
Yeah. Well, it was reminiscent of 2016 because didn't he win the wall? He didn't win Nevada.
No, he didn't win Nevada. Yeah,
but he won everything. Yeah, he won. He won basically everything. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He won Michigan, right?
Yeah,
pretty sure he won Michigan
in 16. Yeah,
he didn't win. Nobody wins Minnesota since 1988 or some shit like that.
That was the only state that stopped the sweep in Reagan. Was it 84? And then Walter Mondale was from Minnesota. But yeah, man, we were talking about it, and I was like, I was more that went way better than I thought it was going to go. Yeah. I knew we were talking about it. I said Bucks County. This is the biggest county in the country right now. And because Pennsylvania is the biggest state, and I said we need Bucks County to win, because that'll flip the state, and we just edged it. Thankfully, the people in our area of Bucks County, overcame. I guess they're trying Karens of Doylestown or whatever.
And, they're trying to overturn it.
Yeah, she should get locked. Now that McCormick is in. Now that McCormick is in, he should have the state AG investigate to make sure there was no wrongdoing. Mm-hmm. Because the fact that she basically said, I'm breaking the law. She literally said that. She said, I'm purposely.
I want to go to court. I want the court to look at this.
How you can say that? It's like, no, that's not, you don't break the law to have the court look at it. You file correctly and have the court look at it. I mean, you want to hem and haw and have a hissy fit, that's fine, but you can't. She literally said, I'm breaking the law about this. So he should absolutely investigate that. She's an elected official. She should be impeached. At the very least, she should lose her job. If not, if there was tampering done, she should absolutely be locked up.
Did you watch the on YouTube or anything? Did you watch the meeting, the community, the hearing they had?
I always saw
not hearing. I'm sorry, hearing.
You're talking about the blonde and the
yeah. It was all the council members or whatever they are.
I only watched like the clip of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Dude, the way she speaks to the constituents, like she just talks. She was just talking down to them the whole entire time. Very very rude. She was trying to sound like she was trying to explain herself. What she said. What I meant was this. Well, listen, that's not what you meant. You said what you said. There is no other context to what you said. Right. You said basically that I don't care about case law. I don't care that there's precedent.
That was like a really bad.
The whole point of this is for me to basically for a court case to pay attention to me.
It wasn't an apology.
She didn't. That
was not it wasn't even a mea culpa.
She didn't apologize.
She did. She basically yelled at not yelled, but she did. She was talking down on people. Yes. Like, oh, well, you don't understand where I'm coming from. It's like, no, we do. You're trying to project now. Mm-hmm. And now, like I said, now McCormick's in. He should absolutely go to the state AG and launch an investigation. And at the very least, she should be impeached for what she said.
That was as much of an apology as Nancy Pelosi when she was caught during the COVID going in and getting her hair done.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, I'm sorry. What'd she say? I'm sorry that the owner of the place basically released that video. That's a non-apology apology.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm hoping she gets investigated. I mean, again, that's one area. So Doylestown that's the upper, I guess you would say, the upper part of Bucks County. Yeah. It's a nice area, but it can become uppity with the Karens.
It's the capital of Bucks.
Yeah. We had more say than they did, and that's why they're mad. So.
Yeah, I was totally shocked about Bucks. Happy as hell that it happened. I wish it would happen in local elections because there are still way too many leftists on school boards.
Well, that's a point right up there. I mean, I don't know what her exact position is. She's for Bucks County, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. So she needs to be voted out, and hopefully now, because she said that if she's not impeached or arrested if there is wrongdoing, that the next time an election comes up, if she's for Bucks County, that enough people in our area of Bucks County vote her out.
Yeah. Well, again, Pennsylvania, good job this time. Still don't have a whole lot of faith in local elections. There's just not as much of a turnout, and that pisses me off, man. It really pisses me off.
That's where it starts, too.
That's where it starts. Like people, you think like the president has all this power. Yeah, the president's a very powerful person, most powerful person in the country on paper, but the Congress is really where most of the power lies. Like that's who's passing the laws and so on and so forth. The president signs off on them where they have executive order power and stuff like that. But I mean,
we got all three now.
Yeah. This time I'm not.
2 years.
But here's my thing: do something with it. Yeah. Do something with it.
Let's
do something with it. Do it.
Let's talk about who we're doing.
Do it.
Who's doing?
Final tally was 312 to 226.
It seemed closer. I feel like it was closer.
I am never trusting pollsters ever again.
They were close, these states, though. Like, no, I'm not. I get what you're saying. Don't trust pollsters, but Pennsylvania was close. A lot of the swing states were close, and that's why they're called swing states. I mean, it's
and you won the popular vote, so I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah, by what, 5 million?
I think it might be up to. I think it dropped to like. Okay. We can look that up too. Let's look that up now while we're not doing anything.
I think he won it.
I think I know at one point he was up by like almost 6.
So yeah, well, guess what? Yeah, it's basically 74 million for Harris, almost 77 for Trump. So about 2. It's like 2.5 million. Wow, that's a lot closer than I thought. I thought it was like 5 or 6.
It was at first, but then they were still counting. You know what I mean? They were still getting. Yeah, they were still getting.
It's election. It's election month.
You still lost. Yeah, it's like election season now.
But that just goes to show you that. Yeah, I'm glad we won. We have all 3 of the powers, but at the end, and the Supreme Court, if you want to make it 4. But I mean, you're talking about 2.5 million. That's it in an entire country. That's how close this election was. That's how many people are still that, like, everything that's going on, this was still, I mean, you look at the numbers, the electoral votes, and you're like, oh, he smoked her. Yeah, electorally. But you look at the popular vote, for a country that is in such disarray as it is, I mean, you're talking about a 51-49 kind of count, give or take here.
Yeah, but
and it's like, it shouldn't be that close.
Yeah, but when was the last time Republicans won a popular vote to begin with? No, not to begin with.
When was the last time the country was this in dire straits as it is now? That's the problem.
Did George W. win his second term? Did he win the popular vote? If not, I'm pretty sure it was like 1988, the last time that they won the popular. And
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But either way, yeah, it was closer than I would like. It's kind of shocking that many. Well, it's not shocking because listen, man, people are going to vote for Democrats no matter who it is.
It's so many. It's blue just votes. They
wonder,
vote blue no matter who.
I wonder. That's a good magnet for a car. Blue no matter who.
Well, that's they say. They vote blue no matter who.
I wonder what it would have been like if Joe Biden stayed in. You think it would have been a lot worse?
Look what here you go. Look what he's doing now.
What, about to start World War III and then right before Trump takes office?
Because that's what he wanted to do, and now it's kind of like, well, I'm just going to unleash, the dogs of war here and try to start World War III, try to make as much money for the industrial complex as I can, and then it's in Trump's laps. And listen, if I'm Trump, I'm already calling. I'm calling Putin, and I'm already negotiating. When I come in, this is what we're going to do. I don't even talk to Zelensky. He's basically like, listen, you little bitch. This is what's happening because he's a troublemaker. All right. If Russia wants Crimea, give him Crimea. You turn around the Ukraine and go, you're giving this up, or we're pulling out. And if NATO complains, fine, it's all on you. We're pulling out.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? We don't need. This is an Eastern European problem. This is a NATO problem. We have the ocean privilege. We do not need to be in NATO. And this is the threat we can always throw at NATO is basically, okay. We're out.
Yeah.
So it's even our way or the highway. Either way, we're out of this. So.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, we got a cat down here.
What are you doing? You want to join the show?
She voted Trump. She's like, I'm tired of this abortion issue.
Cats are Democrats.
No.
All right, so we'll take a minute. I'm gonna get this up on the screen and we'll go over all of his cabinet picks and we'll dissect them a little bit and see what we got. All right. So here we go. Let's try this. Trump administration takes shape. President-elect completes top 15 cabinet picks. Let's go through these and see what we got here. Number 1, RFK Jr., Secretary of Health and Human Services. Definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite pick. He absolutely, I think, will bring something new, and hopefully he opens eyes.
Hopefully he does investigations on the FDA.
That would
how
great.
much like we were talking about before, like Purdue with OxyContin, or we were talking about just all the government crap that they allow to these FDA people. If you watch the movie Dope Sick, Purdue puts out.
That's an infuriating.
It is infuriating. They put out OxyContin. This is late 90s or whatever, early 2000s. They put out OxyContin. How many people in the FDA wanted to put a black label on it? And Purdue basically told the higher ups who were allowing the drug, who made the decision whether or not the drug would be allowed to go on market, basically told them, allow it, then come work for us and we'll triple your salary. And that's what was happening. These people were allowing it, and then they were rubber stamping, and then going to work for Purdue for a lot more money. So this is exactly the nightmare that the FDA is trying to avoid. And I'm hoping he just puts a sledgehammer to it.
Next, we got Lori Chavez DeReamer. Is somebody saying her last name right? DeReamer?
I don't know, but it's so she's for unions. She's a female, and she's Hispanic.
Yep.
But he's a racist.
He's a Nazi. We got Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary.
Who I believe is gay.
I'm going to see if he's gay.
I believe he's gay. I believe they said he is gay. And the only reason we're bringing this up is because Trump. Hitler had a lot of gay Hispanic females working for him.
Not that there's a Hitler had a lot of gay Hispanic. Oh, we got next Marco Rubio. Nah, I'm not a huge fan.
I'm a thumbs down on this.
Could be worse. But he's very establishment-like. So I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't care for it. But hopefully it's not bad, but I don't care for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being wrong again like I was in the election.
Yeah.
So. Pete Hegseth, huge fan. Awesome. Love it. Guy's got experience actually in fighting. He's been in the military. I think that's somebody who you should pick to run something like this.
Yeah, you don't want
Secretary of Defense. Somebody who actually has been there and...
Right. You don't want 3 or 4-star generals or admirals. You want because
They're out of touch.
They're out of touch. They haven't. They're all about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this before. You want a guy. He's a major, so he's not like a low man on the totem pole, but he's not been in there at such a high level where he's corrupted and it's all about him or the machine. So and hearing him talk about things on podcasts, he's exactly what they need, and it's going to be a nightmare for the establishment.
Now here's they're going to question him about. Hegseth is also facing sexual misconduct allegations from a 2017 encounter.
Right.
Scrutiny increased late Wednesday night after police in Monterey, California released a report about the allegations. The matter was fully investigated and I was completely cleared, Hegseth told reporters. Through his attorney, he has also acknowledged a sexual encounter, but has said it was consensual.
I don't care about any of it. You know what they did to me.
Yeah.
That's why anytime this comes up, it's like, that was 7 years ago and now we're bringing it up. It's bullshit. If you had something, you would have went after him then. Shame on you if you didn't. Let's move on.
Pam Bondi, 2 thumbs up. I like her better than Matt Gaetz. I think she's a great... I kind of wish you picked her first, but pick Matt Gaetz.
No, this may have been wise.
It might have been. It might, yeah.
Get them in an uproar and go, okay, fine. We're gonna, As opposed to if they put her out first, they may have went full board against her.
Yeah.
So you put him out there, he kind of takes the hit and you go, you're right, put her in there. Now it's like, well, now how much are you going to complain?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was, whether it was done intentionally or not.
I like Pam. I like Pam. I think she's really good on camera. She speaks well. She speaks with like force. So
she reminds me of Kayleigh McEnany a little bit.
A little bit.
Like very confident.
Yeah, very confident. Yeah. Doug Burgum. That's not him. I'm pretty sure that's Donald Trump.
But a billionaire who's basically going to be in charge of. What is it? Like
Secretary of the Interior, so he should
energy
be putting up like curtains and stuff.
But putting a billionaire in charge of energy.
He also named him the newly created Energy Czar position.
Good, because that's everything they didn't want. They good. Put him in there.
Speaking of that, now we got Brooke Rollins, Agricultural Secretary. She has a background in agriculture. She was a farmer. Cattle, guiding her 4 kids in their show, Cattle Careers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good. And again, this is hopefully
experience
that the farmers have been getting screwed over the past few years. Hopefully, someone who's done this.
Mm-hmm.
Good. He's putting the right people in the right spots.
Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary. He's the chairman CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald and co-chair of the Trump 2024 transition team. So he's a CEO. I'm not sure what Cantor Fitzgerald is.
No. That's not even that's not one of the main things we need here.
Scott Turner, ex-NFL player, Secretary of Department of Housing and Urban Development, who Ben Carson held that in 2016. He was appointed that position.
Dude looks like a bodyguard.
Yeah, right?
He's all business.
Look at that neck. 52 years old. Served in Trump's first administration as executive director of the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council. So that sounds, just by those words, it sounds like that could be a nice segue into the Secretary of Housing.
That used to be Ben Carson's position.
That was Ben Carson's position. I would have liked him. What did we say? Surgeon General for Ben Carson.
Surgeon General.
I'm surprised that wasn't
Surgeon General. Oh, it's is it Marty Go down. I forgot his name.
Yeah, well,
I think
Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation. I'm absolutely fine with it. Yeah,
better than Pothole Pete.
Just Pothole Pete. That's a great one. Chris Wright, Secretary of Energy, Liberty Oilfield Services CEO.
Good.
Yep. Enough said.
Want an oil guy in there.
Enough said. I want my gas prices to go down. Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education. Kind of, I don't know.
I didn't know she was the McMahon from the WWE.
You were really? You didn't know that?
No. How often do I find the Secretary of Education? I don't know. They just said, and she's a businesswoman, so they're tough. They took how far did the WWE go?
Still going.
Now again, what does that have to do with Secretary of Education? How about this? Can't get worse.
Yeah. We got Douglas Collins, Secretary of Veterans Affairs.
This is actually where I thought Hegseth would get. I thought he would get that because he does stuff for the VA. I actually thought that's what he would get, and I thought maybe Eric Prince would be Secretary of Defense.
That would have been a good switch up.
It seems like that's it. Maybe Prince said no. I don't know. I'm sure he was in the conversation.
Air Force Reserve Chaplain. Collins, 58, last ran for office in 2020 when he vied for Georgia State Senate seat and served 2 years as a Navy chaplain before joining the Air Force as a chaplain after.
Well, it means he gives a damn.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you need someone in veteran affairs.
Yeah. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, there she is. Christy Nome.
Yeah,
Give her to this.
I don't know about that one.
You're not a Christy Nome fan?
No, Jesus Christ, she shot a fucking dog.
You're a cat guy anyway.
What kind of? I know that goes to show you how offended I am.
Homeland Secretary.
I don't know why she gets Homeland Secretary. She's in South Dakota. Why? Make it make sense to me here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overseas U.S. Customs and Border.
Yeah.
Why? You're in South Dakota. I don't know why she gets that. Why not get somebody who's more? I mean, you put that Tom. What's his name? Tom. He's in charge of immigration, naturalization.
Tom Ace.
Tom
Holman.
Whatever. He's good for the
Yeah.
position he's in. I don't know why she gets this position. I feel like this is forced.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
You're
either.
in South Dakota.
I like Christy Nome. But
How about this? Put Carrie Lake in charge of it. She's in Arizona.
Yeah.
She's got a mouth on her. Like in a good way. Like she won't stop talking in a good way.
I'm still shocked she lost.
Why is Christy Nome in South Dakota? Who's not exactly, she's kind of persona non grata right now.
Yeah.
Why put her there? Because it seems
Tom
Carrie
Holman.
Lake can't win governor. She can't get a Senate seat. You know what? Then fine. Put her in charge of that.
Well, it
She's in
says
Arizona.
if selected, Nome would work with Tom Homan, who was
Well, she doesn't
announced
have
as
a
Trump's
choice.
border czar. Yeah, and Stephen Miller, who was announced as the
Yeah,
White
I think
House
that's a
deputy.
mistake. I don't care for her. I think you could have put other people there. I think Carrie
that
Lake's
it?
just off the top of my head.
Is that it, or is there like a next page or something? Because that definitely was.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it was 15. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
but we have Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
Let's look up her. Let's type in Tulsi Gabbard's position. I think is it Secretary of the National Intelligence? I think it is. Which I'm sure pisses off the machine even more because this is someone who was on a no-fly list, right?
Not Secretary of Defense.
Oh, intelligence.
Yeah, I'm just open secrets. What is happening? I'm just gonna put Secretary and see what comes up. Not secret. We got Intel pick was placed on government Republicans lash out. Of course, you got to go through that. I'm not going to go through Slate. That can kiss my ass. Intel chief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No. All right.
Which is funny because like I said, the same person who couldn't fly on a plane or whatever it was, maybe she was like a not domestic terrorist, but like basically on a watch list.
Yeah.
Is now in charge of national, I don't want to say security, but intelligence.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great punchback.
Dr. Marty McCarry.
That's it. I knew it was Marty something.
Marty
She Marty
McCarry.
McFly. Yeah.
I like Marty McCarry.
I like Marty McFly. I think that would have been great.
Marty McFly would have been a great pick.
Department of DeLoreans.
Department of time travel.
That
That would be Elon Musk. Well, we didn't talk about.
Well, we have Elon.
We didn't talk about the Doge, the Department of
that's-
what is it? Government expenditure,
something.
whatever. I will talk about it. Let's get off this.
Well, who better to put two billionaires in charge of? You guys are spending too much. You're all fired. Especially Musk, who went into Twitter and basically said, "Whatever was it? 2/3 of you or 3/4 of you are fired."
Mm-hmm.
You know, go back to work. You got to come in or you're fired. I mean, that's that. I like it. Like right away, he just comes in, he's shaking shit up.
Yeah.
So that's a good way. They talked about getting. I don't know if it was in the first year or the whole 4 years to save $2 trillion. I think their goal is to save or cut $2 trillion from government.
Like really cut it,
Yeah.
not do what Joe Biden did when he came in. He said that I saved. We cut the debt by $2 trillion negative. You just didn't sign in the whatever. Well, I'm gonna get this off the screen. Then we'll wrap things up. All right. So that was the top 15 picks that they had in that article. However, they didn't mention a couple names, and we did mention Dr. Marty McCarry.
Tulsi should have mentioned.
They didn't mention Tulsi, but we mentioned McCarry, and he is.
He's the nominee for FDA, which is good. Which I think would go good with Bobby Kennedy. For health. So I think that's good.
He brought a lot of reality checks into the whole COVID-19 situation during that whole era. And who else we got? We got Kash Patel.
Who's
FBI, right?
I think he's a nominee.
director?
I think he's a nominee for it. Whether or not he's going to get it, I don't know. But
they're going to fight hard not to get him.
Sure.
He knows where the body's buried.
Who's the scumbag? Andrew. I forget his name. He was in FBI. He was in the FBI or deputy director. McCabe. Thank you. He was pissing and bitching on one of the fake news networks. He could be the worst thing for the FBI ever. Like, sign him up.
Yep, exactly.
That's exactly what I want to hear. Because he's going to investigate you.
Yes,
as you did.
You are one of I think he was probably one of the 51.
Probably. Well, they were former intel agents.
Former intel agents that said that the Trump which is with the idiot. What's the idiot's name? Hunter Biden. His laptop is Russian disinformation. All this bullshit. So that was found to be false. So
yeah, I mean, the minute McCabe said that, he's the worst thing that can happen. He's a danger to this organization. Sign him up.
Sign him up. Pick him up. So that's your picks. That's this week's show. We're going to try a couple things in the near future. We're going to try and actually do some interviews with some people, maybe some like local business owners as well, and try to like branch out a little bit and try something new. Maybe bring them some business and a lot of things on one of the people who I'm trying to get as an interview is an owner of a gym. Not around here. I think it's in Bucks County. I'm pretty sure it's still in Bucks. So I'm going to try and get him on board, do a little interview, and we'll talk about, I guess, working out.
Working out, self-defense.
Working out's good. Working out's good. We will have some videos in the future on, I don't know. We were talking about clearing a room.
Yeah.
Some tactical videos.
We got to get in touch with Adam. I'm going to try to do it at some of my gun class. I was supposed to have one. I threw my back out. So I wasn't able to do the one I wanted to do this week. So, but we're going to try to get some more and then doing some videos like that. So
it's easy to do that when you get old. Throw your back out. Dude, I do it just bending down trying to tie my shoe. I never do it at the gym.
It wasn't even something like I did something and then all of a sudden it happened. It was like throughout the day it just got tighter and tighter and tighter. And at the end of the night, like I was like looking in the mirror and I'm like crooked. I'm like, oh my God, like I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, you don't have to anymore. When you get older, you just wake up and your back hurts. But all right, that's it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Secretary of Age.
Like, share, comment. See you next week.
Later.